Hi guys, welcome back to Crochet Made Simple with Character Designs. Last week's tutorial we started on learning the basic single crochet stitch, and hopefully the aim was for you to have 9 of these small squares done, sewn together and made into this patchwork quilt or a large granny square. So today's aim is going to be to make this is going to be the easiest pattern you'll ever find to make a small 2-inch little flower. The bigger the yarn and the bigger the hook you use, the bigger the flower will come. You may stretch it out to be about probably 3 inches depending if you use Aran yarn or a chunky weight yarn. Today we're going to be using, again I'm going to be using my 5mm hook, which is a H in US terms, and I'm going to be using a smaller thinner yarn which is just usually for a 4mm needle, just so the tension isn't too tight, because you don't want it too tight again if we're going to be doing the flowers. And then the aim will be, from your squares from last week, we're going to take the flowers, we'll have a string still on them, these ones I just finished, and we'll end up sewing them on, and then we'll have something like that depending on what colours you have. You can have all different colours and all different sizes. And this is going, as I said, this is the easiest one. I've looked a lot on the internet and found that a lot of them have increases, decreases, slip stitches, everything, and it just kind of confuses you. I've put my own pattern together. I also have other than my YouTube channel, I have my Facebook page, Character Designs Made Simple, and Crochet Made Simple with Character Designs. And if you follow that page, if you want to comment and ask me for the PDF pattern, that's no problem. You can private message me or leave me a comment and I can email it over to you. So you're going to have the video tutorial here on YouTube, and then, as I said, my Facebook page, you can, if you want to comment or leave me a message, I will send you that PDF pattern just so you can have it on your iBooks or you can print it out. So we're going to get started with the small crochet flowers for now, and we'll move on in the next week's video and we'll make the larger ones once we learn how to do the double crochet stitch. So let's get started. Okay, so last week guys, we should have these ready, sewn together, as many of them as you want. And today the aim is going to be to make this lovely 5-petal, small little 2-inch flowers. So we're going to get started now with the 5mm hook or whatever hook you want to use, and some yarn, some basic yarn, whatever, double knit, or if you want Aran on a bigger needle, that's fine. So again, we're going to do the simple knot, and we're going to chain 4 stitches. So again, around and out, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to turn it around and we're going to slip stitch in the first hole there. That's how we make a circle. So I'll just show you that again. We have 4 chains, 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th where your knot is, so don't have it too tight, and we're going to just put the hook in there, and with your finger here making like a C, if you can see there, it's like a C, you just keep your finger in there and we're going to slip stitch. So a slip stitch is a joining stitch. It's you're done similar to a single crochet, it's just, I'll show you now, you go yarn around, you pull out through 1 and out through 2, and that's how you do a slip stitch. So I'll just pull that back and show you again. That's how you join. We don't want to do a single crochet stitch because we haven't started yet, we're just joining. So you join with the first chain, put your finger in to make a C, yarn around, out through the first one, and then out through that stitch, and that's how you secure your circle. So you can keep your finger in it if it's easier. I know a lot of people put the yarn to that size and they use the hook to pull it through. Myself personally, I use the yarn and carry it around the hook myself. So we're going to get started. So we're going to chain 1 because it's the start of the pattern. So we're chaining 1 as the turning chain because we're doing a single crochet stitch. So into the actual circle we're going to do 9 double crochets. So in here, so not into the chains, actually in where my finger is, into the hole. We're going in and we're doing our single crochet stitch we learned last week. If you don't know the stitch, please go back to the last week's video and you'll find it there. So it's yarn around, out, yarn around and out through 2. So that's 1 done. So we're going to continue on and do 9. Yarn into the circle, around, pull it out, around, out through 2. And we want to continue on until you have 9 done. If you're unsure how to count, you start back from you can almost see that they're like small V's here, and that's how you count back. So from where you are to hook, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 done at the moment, so I need another 2, 8, and you can give it a bit of a pull just to make room. It won't rip, it won't, so make sure you just give it a pull to make sure it's nice and neat. And then we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's how you count them. So you have your 9 done, and in the first one we've done, when you count back and you get to 9 there, which was the first one we done, we're going to go in to the 2 stitches on it, the V, not just the chain, the 2 stitches there, and we're going to slip stitch to secure it. So the slip stitch again is around, out through that stitch, and then out through the one on the hook. So now we have the basic circle done with the 9 stitches going around, and now we're doing the petals. This is the final row. This is how quick it is, so don't panic. If you need to go back on the video, just pause it or go back and have a look. And as I said, if you need a PDF, you can find me on Crochet Made Simple with Character Designs on Facebook, and you can message me for the Patreon. So this is the last one, the last row. Turning chain again, chain 1, and into the stitch where we slip stitch. So into this stitch right here that we've already used, we're going to do 5 single crochets. So we're putting the petal in here where we've already slip stitched, where we've joined. So around, out through 2, that's 1, 2, 3, and don't worry if you feel it's getting a bit tight. Again, you just move it to make room. The yarn doesn't rip, it's very secure. So we've 3 done there, in, around, out through 2, and we've 1 more to do, in, around, yarn around, out through. So there is, you have your first petal, 5 single crochets in that one. The next stitch we have here, or the next V, you go slip stitch into that stitch. So yarn in, out, and through that one again. So now you've slip stitched that. That gives you the bend between the petals, the kind of the pull between the petals to make them be the bubbly kind of feature that they are. So we've slip stitched into that one. So the next one here, we're going to do 5 single crochets. So you can see the next V's, we're going to do 5 single crochets into that stitch. 3, and give it a bit of a pull to make room. 4, 5. So we have our second petal done. So now we need to make it that it's tight in like that, so it has the bit of the bump again. So the next stitch, the next V stitch as I call it, straight in, yarn around, pull it out, and take this one off. So that's a slip stitch. So you're slip stitched in it there. So basically we're going 5 single crochets, slip stitch, 5 single crochets, and a slip stitch. So in the next stitch, 5 more single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and always make sure your tension isn't too tight. You shouldn't hear a squeak with the needle or the yarn. It should be simple to get in and out, and that the tension is right, because you get a larger flower then. So we've 5 done there. The next stitch, the next V, we're going in, yarn in, out, and we're pulling it through for a slip stitch. So now we have 3 done. The next stitch, 5 single crochets again, 1, 2, 3. I find it gets a bit tight here, so I always give it a bit of a pull to make sure you can fit more in. 4, 5, and now next one we slip stitch into the next V stitch. Done. And then we have the last one next to V, last stitch here. We're going to do 5 single crochet, and that will complete our petal stitch. 1, 2, 3, give it a bit of a pull, 4, 5. So as you can see now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petal stitches, and then in the stitch just beside it you slip stitch, and that's how you finish off the flower. Now what you want to do is you want to leave a long enough tail so you can sew it on. So to finish the join, you're going to just do yarn around and pull out the string, and there you have a 5 tier, the easiest flower that you'll ever do. So what we're going to do is we're going to, with a sewing needle, turn it around the back. Now we get the yarn on, and we're going to just tie off the ends at the back. You can put the yarn through in a hoop and pull it through, and then just cut it, and then we're left with your long tail from the flower. And with the squares that we have done from last week, we're going to just put your yarn through the needle, and then we're going to hold it on to that, so the right side facing of the squares, not the back. You can see where we sewn at the back, so turn it around, the right side facing, and you're just going to place it wherever you want. You could have it in the middle to cover the join where you sewed, or you can just have it there. They're great for headbands. If you were to continue on and put more of these together, you could have a headband with little flowers on it for the kids or someone that would like be into that. So now we're just, all we're going to do is, there's no great magic to this, we're just going to put the needle straight down and bring it out to the back, and then just bring it up through the petal. And again, I like to just sew it straight under where the stitches are, under the V stitches, so you can't really see the join. And make sure you push it straight through, out the back, and turning as you go. So that's one petal sewn on. We're on to the next one. This is how easy it is. Straight in, around, and then you will continue around all the way until the petal is sewn on. And there you have the makings of the first of the flowers, and then you can continue on as you do and have it done. So if you want to work on that for this week, and then next week we're going to start on the double crochet stitch, which is a larger stitch than the single crochet, which means you get work done an awful lot quicker. You can get larger flowers done, and then we can start on a hat pattern also once you learn the double crochet stitch. So I hope you have fun with the flowers. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorials. I'd love you to subscribe to my channel, and any comments or requests you might have, feel free to contact me either here on YouTube or on Facebook at Crochet Made Simple with Carrick Designs. Thank you. I'll see you next week.